Hello, hello. I'm not feeling too well at all. Why can I hear myself talking? I can hear myself talking. Yeah. Oh, 1 minute. You can't do it. No, you can't do it. You can't turn your cameras on. You disabled the cameras. Um, I've no intention of. I haven't turned up for that anyway. good friend of mine. Watch your mouth. Why fucking? I would love you to come in, pal. Come on, I'll have you, you little bastard. It's not petty though, is it? When he's fucking doxing me fucking 1-year-old son all over his YouTube channel, is it? That's not petty. It is. I heard myself echoing.
Know how it's going to have to go. Right. Hopefully now you should be able to hear me as well as Nigel. Nigel, for the last 10 minutes or so, they only heard one side, and that was you. That would have been interesting to listen to.
Yeah, but I just heard myself echoing on YouTube, so how could that be?
I know here I've got to, because I'm working with StreamYard, right, which is transmitting the bomb shelter, right? But you are in the bomb shelter. So you can hear me because I've got the mic open on that side. And the reason why people couldn't hear me was that I'd muted myself on StreamYard.
All right, yeah. Okay.
So it's now all sorted. People seem to be hearing me. So I've been talking all about tonight, and you've not heard it, which I think is hilarious because I've got a guest here who has been listening to me and to you, which is quite amusing. So, all right. So, at the risk of repeating myself, tonight is an open challenge to any and all potential bombers. And
I'm not part of it.
You have an open invitation. Permission is granted. I've barred everybody so that those who wear barred can come in. Not an issue because you're going to be clicking on the pinned link, okay, at the top of the chat. That will take you through to the bomb shelter. Okie dokie. And even if you're a friend, you are also allowed to play about and see whether or not you can come up with something, because I think that we've dotted the I's and closed and suspended all the T's on this one. So, security is tight. Good evening, John. Good evening, Miss Luck, 1975. Now, if you've got your stream, your YouTube open there, Nigel, without the sound on, you would be able to see the chat. You can pop the chat out as well, which might make it a little bit easier, and you can see what's going on. Yeah. And I am actually pleased that you've come up. It's a long time since we've had a chat, and it's not like
it's a long time since it's a long time since you've not abused me. Get it right.
Well, I don't abuse anybody.
Fuck yeah, whatever.
Hey, just ask anybody in the chat. Ask anyone in the chat; they'll tell you. I'm nice anyway, never did.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, so
yeah, all right.
I do think it's strange that Nigel's come up tonight, but I don't have a problem. We've not spoke for a long time. He has done 1 or 2 lives in the past that I've been able to catch. Not many, I must admit. When I say catch, not necessarily appear on. But this little system is quite good.
It's a new one, isn't it? It's not the one that you normally use.
No, this is brand spanking new.
Oh, it was.
And basically, from a transmission point of view, it's ideal. Now then, you can see a Bear Britainer. Why? Because he can come in and make alterations. Not that I think that he should be allowed to. You know, let me just see if there's a way to do this. Bear, stop taking the piss now. Oh, that's definitely, yeah. Give me 2 seconds. I don't mind people being total idiots, you know, but
try not to be.
Well, no, you see, that isn't Bear. That's the one pretending to be Bear, isn't it, Bear?
What's not Bear?
That's not Bear.
Where?
Where? There.
Where Bear?
There, right there.
There Bear?
A little bear on the stair.
Bear? Care?
Yeah, that bear that's going click,
Yeah,
cloppity clip on the stair. Oh, yeah. Sorry, have you met Nigel before?
I shouldn't be able to turn my camera on, should I?
You have privileged rights.
Oh, okay.
You're a co-owner.
Don't need them, don't want them.
Well, I know you don't want. The idea is that I'm unlikely to get what's the word I'm thinking? Bombed by Bear Britain. Believe me, he's
unlikely to get bombed off me. I don't
So Nigel, can you turn your camera on?
Nigel can't, it's disabled. He's a guest.
No, I'm a fucking pest. Get it right.
Well, yeah, there is that as well.
Just before you say it.
No, I wouldn't say that. Would be fair, would it? You know?
Bollocks.
So, yeah, I know what I can do with you, Mr. Bear. I can do that. Strange.
Chase him into the woods.
Yeah, I can mute all individuals, and I can also remove them. Nice. Oh, I do like this. Okay, sorry, I'm Bear. Are you there, Bear?
Yeah, man.
Right. I want to talk about. Oh, he's gone again. See what I mean? You start talking and he disappears.
That was not very nice.
And then he returns.
That's not very nice, man.
Right. Next week, folks, I am not going to be on air other than on the 31st, when sometime from my well, basically, I'm going to go home and visit a few folks I've not seen for a long time. And what I'll do is I'll introduce you to some of the family, and hopefully you'll realise that the family and the network are very similar. You know, you would call them monsters. You know. Did you hear about that challenge, by the way? Turn your camera off. Thank you. Did you hear about
that? What's wrong with the cameras being on, man?
Because I can't control it.
What do you mean can't go? Oh, come on, man.
That's where you can
What do you think I'm going to do? Get me shot out?
What? No, Bear. We can't put cameras on. You wouldn't want to end up being demoted now, would you? No answer to that one. Nigel, you still with us?
Yeah, of course I am.
Good. I just wasn't sure. I wanted to
That was
check.
me just messing with the soundboard.
Oh, right. Okay.
Just tinkering, that's all.
Yeah, why not? I'm just looking to see what I can do with. Yeah. No, I'll leave that as it is for the time being. I'm just seeing how I can get round a few things. That was all. Yeah, I haven't even got a camera connected.
Never have I. Don't know.
Oh, that could be where the problem is. I don't know.
Could be.
Quite possibly. Monday night, folks, as I was saying, I will not be presenting the normal Monday Night Network show because I'm taking a well-deserved week away from everything. But I will, as I say, do a live on Tuesday evening sometime. But it'll only be short, but I will introduce you to a few of the family, if you don't mind. And I'm not even sure whether it's going to be, what's the word I'm thinking? YouTube friendly. It might not be. There might be a lot of blood and gore. Because last time I went to one of these homecomings, the cleaner was trying to clean the dungeons up for 4 weeks. You think Grandad had a problem? You've got to store the meat somewhere after it's been broken open. You know, the leftovers. Do you fancy joining us, Nigel, as a guest?
No.
I mean, it's not far from where you are, where I'm going.
No.
But
I've got other things. I've got other things going on at the moment. I'll talk to you in private about it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's not a problem. You know how to get hold of me. Yeah, what was I saying? I thought you might want to come along on meet the family and we can have you for dinner. But if you're busy, then okay, fair enough. Any other volunteers? Go on, don't be shy now. You can come in and just sit in the room with us. Oh, Nigel's buggered off. I've got BBA there. Don't know what BBA's up to. He's muted himself. Probably gone out for a smoke. Lord of Audits, you still can't necessarily spell properly, but you keep coming up with these wonderful names. A bit like when I came up with Lord of Audits. I'll play on being bold. This is the guy who's got 3 hairs on his head, allegedly. You want to see the comb over? So, if nobody else is going to come in and start speaking, we're going to have a very short live tonight. We haven't got the loads of people that we had at one point, but I do like to thank every single person who's nipped in, even for a couple of minutes, and gone, oh, I don't want to listen to that, you know. Screw you, Grim, lol. Hope you're good. I'm always good. Well, apart from being pissed off with the state, the government, our unfair justice system. I'm trying to think of a few other things as well. No, everything else is okay, really. Personal life, obviously. But yeah, it's nice to see you here, Lord of Balditz. Thank you so much. I really have missed your wit. Like, I would, I'd hate to stub my toe because you get that irritating pain for a while. But it's always a pleasure to say hello. Vanished, cheeky. Here's an open invitation to you, John. Come in here and do your worst.
Yes, Resist the Dystopia. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh, Bear's on the back. Hello, mate. How you doing?
And everyone else. Good to see you. Whoops, no camera. Gutted for you.
Grim, you haven't done that properly, have you?
Say that again. Nigel?
You haven't done that very properly, have you?
Well, this is where I was under the impression that everything was sorted. Yeah, I've noticed. Okay, so there's a little loophole.
There's always
How's there a
always
loophole?
tested, isn't there?
How's there a loophole?
Because Nigel's found a way around it.
How's
I
that?
always find a way around
But
everything.
you haven't put your camera on.
No, because he hasn't physically got one, but he has found a way. And I'm trying to figure out what's gone wrong.
Okay, that makes that now this. I would take that pin link down.
Yeah, I'll
Yes, definitely.
give me 2 shakes of the lamb.
If you look in the back there, it says BRB, be right back. It's gone now. All right, look.
It's not a major issue. There you go. That's sorted. Now then,
When you're accepting people in, you accept them as moderator.
is that what's going on?
Yes.
Thank you so much. They shouldn't be.
I just did a quick glance and read up on it. That's fine.
I need to try and get back in and try and sort it. With a little bit of luck, I'll be able to.
See, stuff like this, you don't want this because I can kick him out of the room as well. No finger bird, I can kick him out.
Yeah, well, yeah, I need to get that changed. I agree. That's what I'm working on. This is the point, you see. This is why I said, quote.
When I first come in, I couldn't put it on. But when I went out and come back in, I could.
Right, got you.
Yeah, I can even remove you, Grim.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
I can as well.
So someone could remove you and then fucking porn bomb you. Ain't shit you're doing about that.
It's easy to sort out. Right. See whether that has that made any changes.
Let me just check. Nope.
No. Okay.
This is where I'd say.
This is the way we need to try and sort out the system. It's not a major issue, as I say, because as it stands at the moment, we only have the 2 of you in, and I do trust you both.
And if you go and look at the YouTube side of it, right, whatever you do in here,
yeah,
like
you can see on there,
taskbar or anything like that, you can see it on the YouTube side. That's not good because someone could put something in that private chat. You can open it and everybody can see it.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's, as I say, it's a learning curve. This is the whole idea. Hello, Spitfire.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I get you.
So yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't need to worry about that, the private chat, unless I needed to, but then I'd just put an overlay on or something like that on StreamYard.
I've just tested it and you can't see it, so it's all right.
You just tested it and what? Sorry.
You still can't.
You can't see on the. You can't see it on the YouTube side. When I pull up the taskbar.
Yeah, but when I do, you can, because it's obviously sharing.
No, I don't know.
See, I would say though, this one, until you've got it sorted, Grim, yeah, I'd shut down this.
That's actually probably a very, very good idea.
And get everyone over on StreamYard.
Yeah, no, I do get it. But yeah, I agree. And yeah. But this is what I wanted to see. I mean, basically, at the end of the day, what Network is doing is declaring war to put an end to them, right? And this was the whole idea of this evening, was to see what the potential problems are. And the only way we're going to do that is by continuing the way we have been doing. However, I've unpinned the link at the moment while I made some alterations. Now the only thing they can see on the screen is me, but they will be able to hear you still. I think, maybe not, actually. Give me two seconds. I think I know what I did there. Right, okay, so add that in. And then cover over like that. There we go. There's the ultimate security. So we work out these little problems.
See the little emojis on the screen? Do they see them?
No.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Well, they will do.
If you had his finger down.
But at the moment, I'm not. I'm sharing.
He's got an overlay up at the moment.
But I've got it's just me on the screen.
No.
But if you show again, do it again for me with the emojis. There you go. All of those are being transmitted. Little wavy yellow hands, etc., on a floating bar. So there we go. I've gone back to the normal screen. We've got the crazy bogey in. Mr. Beckett, how are you? And we're just trialing a few things. We found a few little problems. Hello, Honest Abe. Just to see whether or not we can iron them out. We found a couple of problems. First problem was the transmission. They could only hear one side, which at the time was Nigel. We sorted that out, and thanks to everybody who pointed that out. We've got a bag of crisps in the background. Bear's eating.
Go on, mate.
Oh, I said you're eating. It could have been Nigel. Yeah, so to be honest, this little idea, it is workable. We've just got to get the technical side set up. That's all. It's just the settings that we need to sort out. But yeah, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Bogey wants to know if you're okay, if you're good, Bear.
I'm always good.
He's always good. I could have answered that myself, but right. So this could be a very short evening because you've pair of you come in. You've made the challenge. Yes, there's a few kinks, but luckily because I've got the overlay that I can use, or the way that I've got it set up on StreamYard, you can hear the people on the in the back, but you can't see them. As it stands at the moment, we will be working on that to try and sort that out. But for the time being, I'll just say that it's not as successful as I wanted it to be. However, it's still successful. And there's still that lovely challenge. But a little bit about Monday. Monday, as I say, there will be a network live. I won't be doing it. It'll be run on the network, on the Grim Reaper network, on this channel only, so pass it around. I will be putting out a promo about it either tomorrow or on Sunday. I'm still around. Whoever it is screwing up, Chris, stop it. I will be around over the weekend, but and I'll get a few things done. I might even do a live sometime. I'll see what state of play is. But hopefully by then I'll have got these kinks sorted out. But I don't know how it's going to be run on a Monday, because Bear's going to be hosting it, and maybe Mellows.
Car crash.
If I can get hold of him. I heard that you sneeze. He's tight. If that doesn't, if you're not happy with it, that only being on the one channel, just let me know. I will take all criticism on board. Bear's going to be busy, so I'm making sure that Bear's kept busy over the next week or so. And if he's free, he can help me out. If he's not free, then it's because he's busy, so to speak. Grim, my name is Chris, lol. Okay, crazy bogey. Right, so
what's the story in Balamory? What's going down?
When?
Tonight. What's your topic?
I haven't got one.
Oh.
Really? Well, actually, no, there is a topic, so to speak. But I don't know whether to approach it. It's to do with, all these videos on migrant hotels. I've heard that the local, or whoever's running it, are giving the whole of a hotel residency full a week's notice that they're being kicked out with nowhere to go. So they'd end up going.
Before, you really think that's going to kick them out with nowhere to go?
With nowhere to go, nowhere for them, because the council won't house them. Obviously, so they'll end up homeless on the streets and using charitable help. I just think that it's if that is the way it's going to be happening, because apparently it has already happened. That if that's the case, then be prepared for a lot of people out on the street, a lot more than normal. Maybe the government's running out of money. I don't know. But
they've got unlimited money.
But on that subject, there's a whole load of videos where people are. I call it clicks, views for clicks, or clicks for views, whichever way you want to put it, right? And some of them aren't very good, and I think it's also causing a division within the auditing community, because if you like, the right-wing people are joining in, and I just think that there's too much of it now. Don't know what you think on the panel or in the chat. You let me know. I mean, do you think there's enough? Do you think that we need to ease off and say concentrate on the local demonstrations that's going on, if there are any? I know where there's some RAF bases that are going to be converted into housing. I know that there are regular demonstrations on there. My understanding, Cheeky, is that the council will make the ultimate decision as to whether or not they will house any of them, but it's the government that controls the purse strings, because a lot of the hotels are losing a lot of revenue from people who have a lot of turnaround, so they'll never go to that particular hotel or that company of hotels. They'll have nothing to do with them. But there's a bit of a backlash now. And also the majority of people who work for the hotels were sacked, and whichever company was running it, they brought their own staff in. So I just wondered, that was all. I don't know whether they can still hear me downstairs in the basement. A lot of councils seem to be going bankrupt. Yes. And I wouldn't say it was through misuse of money. I think it's more to do with not having enough money, because they've been told it's got to be diverted or to get less money from central government. So, yeah, you're right there, Vanished. There's me and BBA, and BBA's muted. I thought that was the situation. Nigel's done a runner, God blame him. I'm just waiting on somebody from the chat to say something so I can sort of answer them. I don't know whether you can hear me there, Bear, but I just wondered what your opinion was. She asks for a subject and then disappears. Boycott the hotels who participated in the migrant lodges. They'll lose out, and and we'll have issues arising from that. Well, yeah, they will. You boycott them. I mean, I've already done that. I mean, when I go away, I'll only go to places I know they haven't got that side of things. So I'm doing 100 push-ups all day, all November for cancer research. Ah, nice one, Lord of Audits. By the end of November, you'll be knackered. Personally, I couldn't do that. Not 100 push-ups. I might get one of the slaves to do it, but I wouldn't do it. We don't use hotels. We always rent cottages. Yeah. Self-catering is a good way of doing things, same as if you were to rent a chalet, I suppose. But I don't think there's many cottages that have had them. Watch what happens to the UFC now that they took on Bud Light. Oh, right. Okay. So UFC have taken on Bud Light as a sponsor. Brilliant. Mad Max, hello. How are you doing? Thanks for calling in. Home from homes. Yeah. Self-catering makes sense. Go buy tent. No, don't mean go buy a tent. I mean, take a tent if you got one. If you need one, you fancy the idea, then unless it comes with at least 4 stars on it, I wouldn't entertain it. It's my little bit of advice to you. Oh, cheeky. We're in a lovely one in the west of Scotland now, and but the parrot. Okay. All right then, cheeky. Again, I don't know why anybody would want to go to Scotland, but hey ho, each to their own. I don't think I'd want to go to Scotland. It's bad enough having to go to Wales occasionally, you know, very occasionally these days. So, yeah, I don't know what's happened to Bear. He's muted up. He's probably a little bit cheesed off with me for running tonight and not running any tests. But you know what I'm like. You know, I'll just do things as, you know, I feel it's the right thing to do. You know. Vanish is inviting you to visit the borders, cheeky. 2.5 hours to the nearest supermarket. Oh, I bet delivery's fun. Well, I suppose if you got your food there, then there shouldn't be any issues. Good job you got internet. That's all I'll say. Where's Stangu these days? And Jay, very good question. They hop in every now and again. You're in Lothian, if I pronounced that right. I could be wrong, because it depends on the pronunciation. I mean, what do I know? Not a lot. So,
yo, sorry, mate. When nature calls and all that, you know what I mean.
Oh, you took the shits from us, did you? All right, fair enough. Anyway, it's all right. I wasn't too sure whether you were here or.
I'm here,
or not.
And even when I'm not, I'm here in spirit.
Well, yes, certainly in the background. Anyway, right. So hang on a second. Give me 2 seconds, and I'll put Bear and myself there. There we are. Bear can hear me through that system, and you can all hear me through StreamYards, and everything is wonderful. You know. Shit comes before the stream. Oh, Mad Max. I get that one, even if Bear didn't. Are you still muted, Bear? Or
no, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear an echo.
Hello. Dickhead. I know, I'm a dickhead, I know.
I'm saying absolutely nothing, and I'm not going to say.
I wear that with pride.
Yeah, well, there's no way I could lie and say that you weren't. I could try.
Know, right? No, don't lie. We like honesty around here.
Yeah. But that would make me as bad as a troll. Yeah. But I tell you what, though, it's nice to see so many people taking part in the chat. If nothing else, I'm listening to me waddling on about absolutely nothing. You know, is that you, Trex guy?
Trex guy.
Yeah, some people call him T-Rex. He's from over the States.
Sounds like Tourette's guy. Tourette's guy.
Okay,
Tourette's.
I can't. No, I can't. I can't. I'll get told off again if I go down that road. Yeah, I've got to be careful what I say these days, folks. Especially with so many wranglers around and various others, you know.
Listen, you're going about this Wrangler guy, yeah?
As if people gives a shit. I know.
No. That wasn't what I was going to say. I was going to say, less talking about him and more getting him on the panel, man.
He won't.
Where's he at? I'll go find him and bring him here.
You won't find him. He'll never come. Like he'll never come over. He has his own channel, right, with his whatever views he has and whatnot. You know how people accuse people of being e-beggars and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
This guy calls auditors e-beggars, right? But hello, Cyrix. Thank you. Just made 700 subscribers. Hey.
Is anybody, whether whatever it be, any industry, if you're making money online, if you've got an online business, whatever, yeah, you're putting that in the same category then.
No, I'm not saying that, as you know.
No, you're not. Whoever this Wrangler fucking
I'm not finished.
He's a fucking knobhead.
No. Here's the no. This is a guy, right, who has a Buy Me a Coffee app, right, PayPal, Super Chats, right, whatever, you with me, and people donate to him in exactly the same way that he's accusing other people of.
Oh yeah, well, that's YouTube. Unfortunately, there's a lot of hypocrisy.
Oh yeah. And this is the guy who claims to have claimed at one point. He's now said otherwise, but he did claim to have two purple hearts. You know, well, first of all, you've got to get through basic training.
So two purple hearts, is that something that the US forces give out?
Yeah. It's the equivalent to the George Cross.
Right. Okay.
Right. But he says that he was awarded them. Right. He says that he needs surgery because he's still got shrapnel in the bottom part of his back. You name it, he's had it. That's wrong. Right. But
how do you know this to be false?
Because he didn't get through basic training.
How do you know that?
Because that's on record.
So we'll do some digging.
Yes. And someone who doesn't normally talk about people like that did the digging. So, well, reputable. So, yeah, and, just by requesting public records, they got the information. They've demonstrated it. They've shown it. But he still says that this, that, and the other. But to me, he's what's the word I'm thinking? He's stealing valor, if you like, is the way the Americans put it. I mean, it'd be like somebody over here claiming to have got two George Crosses. You know?
Has he actually got two purple hearts or what?
No, he hasn't, unless he's bought them.
So he hasn't stolen anything. He's just made a claim.
Yeah, but that is what's called stolen valor, which is illegal over there.
Just by making a claim?
Yes. You're making claim on veterans or against veterans who have, or who've actually got through, in this case, through basic training, but he had an injury during basic training, which meant he had to leave. Again, factual. But he won't admit it, he won't say anything, and there's still people who follow him, and not just follow him, but give money away because they're besotted by him. You know?
Maybe he's got something wrong with him.
Well, probably, but at the end of the day, people in glass houses.
Yeah, but
and that's how I see it, and that's the point that I make.
Some people are a bit dim, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've got this feeling that they're not as up on sarcasm for starters. As some are. What's that, Spitfire? You got a genuine George Cross from the NHS, 75 years. Congratulations. And thank you for your service to get that.
For 75 years.
Well, I wasn't going to say Florence, but yeah, I don't really want to make a Nightingale out of that one either. But yeah, I must say that tonight's episode is sponsored by Troll's Nightmare. A Troll's Nightmare is a mixture of people who like to have a troll and look after it and make sure it's warm at night under the bridge,
Hey, trolls aren't just for Christmas, guys.
Exactly. And they make your analytics look good as well.
They come out more during the Christmas months, don't get me wrong, the winter months, but they're not just for Christmas, remember that.
Yeah, I mean, they're a bit like clowns if you adopt a clown, from Tyrant Wars, etc. Then, it would be...
Oh, I see something here I was going to discuss with you.
Oh, go on then.
Have you seen any of Tyrant Finder's stuff lately?
Not all of it. I have listened to some of the stuff that he put in.
Okay, I see a video the other day. I don't know whether it's old, new, or what. Yeah. And there's some guy sat on the step of a so-called kind of like war memorial. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy sat on a like a rug, a little mat thing, nothing like extravagant, just enough to fit himself on.
Yeah.
And he sat there with like a little beatbox thing, boombox thing, playing some form of, I imagine, like Arabic music.
Right.
Tyrant Finder goes over, confronts him, and tells him that he's being like really disrespectful, and they have this, and how he wouldn't dare himself even step on there because it's a war memorial and it's disrespectful. I guess if you haven't seen the video, then like you can't really comment. But what's your opinions on that?
Somebody's sat on a war memorial doing absolutely nothing. I wouldn't have an issue with it. But that's just me. That was the cenotaph.
I'm just thinking about the amount of war memorials that I've clearly like disrespected, if that's the case, because I've stood on loads. No, I don't go trampling over people's graves, but a war memorial, yeah, man. I've gone and sat on a war memorial. I've gone and done a bit of filming on one, and I don't know where the.
But you're not disrespecting it.
Is someone disrespecting it by sitting on it?
No. I said you're not disrespecting it. By the things that you may have been doing. sitting on it, filming from it, talking on it.
What if I was playing some rap music on there? What if I was playing some down there and I was playing like some Tupac on there, man? California Love. It's a nice hot day, and I've got my little boom box, and I'm playing California Love by Tupac. Would you be disrespected then?
No, because that doesn't, I mean, to me, it's neither, I wouldn't see it as being disrespectful, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But then again,
I was wondering like where people stand with that, because I've never really thought of a war memorial as something you shouldn't necessarily stand on,
apparently he's also complained about police placing their riot helmets on it. If we're talking about the same person.
Yeah. He complained about that as well. I see that as well. Actually, that's a good point.
And Spitfire bounces back, so you are not destroying them or anything. In other words, you're not causing any harm.
No, I just watched that video and it made me think twice about, I wonder if I should be sitting on things like that then.
Well, I've seen people sit on them. I've seen people stand on them. I've also seen people after photos taken next to them. That's not being disrespectful. So,
No, I guess not.
I suppose.
Well, that was it, really. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say on it. I just wondered where people were with, like, would you sit on a war memorial? Would you walk on one? Would you? I mean, I wouldn't start climbing up the actual, but if I can walk up it, if there's steps and stuff, I would think that means that it's at least there to be walked on.
Well, yeah. Mad Max has said there's nothing wrong with how would you doing anything to him as long as it's not damaging them. Well, I think if you're standing on there, or even if you're in prayer or anything, I mean, what's the difference?
Well, he says I think it's more about the call to prayer being broadcast from it or there from there.
Well, yeah. But that's not being disrespectful.
Did those people, for instance, in the World War, did they not fight for all of our freedoms to do that?
Yes. That was
so it's not really disrespectful, because they fought for your freedom to be able to do exactly that. For you to be able to sit there, and if that's what you want to do and it brings you a little bit of peace, then I guess why not, right?
It's like being arrested for saying a silent prayer. It's the same thing. Muslim call to prayer, I think maybe he felt disrespectful to the Christian soldiers.
What you think every soldier that fought in the war for the British forces was Christian? I bet they wasn't.
I would agree.
I bet somewhere down the line we had many different faiths.
We've had we've had loads of different people who are from different religions in the army, and still are. But yeah, sort of makes sense. I can actually see where you're coming from what you're saying. You with me?
I've got another question for you here. Do you think this country is getting close to some kind of like civil war? And when I say civil war, I mean like it's going to be like defined between maybe religion, or do you think anything like that could be maybe kick off over here in this country?
No, not anymore. You'd have asked me that 10 years ago, I might give you a different answer. But no, I don't think we'd ever see that. Well, I'll put it this way. I hope I never see that.
Yeah, I hope we never see that.
I can understand trying to topple the government through protest. And notice I did miss a sentence out there. A protest
in
is
the
not
last 24 hours, I've been accused, man, of being a lefty, a disgrace to my country.
You
a
a lefty?
A Hamas supporter. Well, let me tell you, I'm none of those things, I don't think. Well, one, I don't see I could be a disgrace to my country. I've never served, right? So it's not like I have to sit with any higher expectation than anyone else in society, right?
Also, you're not taking notes.
So, you know, it just seems like, because for me, right, genuinely, like if you start like cutting all the bullshit, I think regardless of whether somebody thinks like me, whether somebody looks like me, or whether somebody has even a different moral compass to me to a degree, right? Because people have got different cultures and they're no different. If you take that away, those things which I've mentioned, which is what, 3-4 things, that's not really a lot of differences compared to the amount of similarities that we have. We all, as human beings, I believe, have more similarities than we do differences.
Yes.
And we all seem to share, I think, where no matter where you live on the planet, we all kind of share one common enemy. And that is the elite. All of us. Whether people in the third world get it harder than we do here in the Western, deep down, all of us, when it comes to the crunch, we're just all collateral damage.
Yes.
Everything happens to us, we're just collateral damage. That's it.
Yep.
No more.
Welcome, EA Audits. How you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, I mean, whatever happens, I would say, as always, regardless of what your politics are, the poorest will always lose, and they are the collateral damage to me.
But we're all the same, right? Like if I turned around and sat here now and said to you, I think that all Catholics, anyone in the Catholic Church, are the N word. Yeah, I won't say it, but the N word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that statement?
No.
Same as if I turned around and said, I don't know, it's only white people that are the N word. Would you say that's a correct statement?
No. I think it depends on your culture.
If I was to turn around and say that someone of a certain ethnic background or a certain religion were all of them, if I was to say they were all terrorists, would that be a true statement?
No.
However, it seems to me that somewhere in society, people are being led to believe that this is the case, that you've got a load of people that believe in a certain something or believe in something.
A stereotype.
Yeah, and then they all get tarnished with the same brush. And that ain't the truth. I believe that actually it's a very small proportion of these people that are hold very extreme views. You know,
yes.
That's just my opinion. That's what I think. You know, I think like the same with what you see in Palestine. Those guys that went and done what they done, they've got more extreme views than the actual Palestinian people, I believe. Do you know what I mean? So you can't turn around and say that they're all the same. I just see there's a lot of divide in society, man, and I think that like people need to realize that that's all done by design. And as long as you all buy into this divide, you're buying into that exact system that you sit and moan about, that same government that you sit and moan about. You're playing right into their hands.
I think we're doing that anyway, slowly. Well, no, actually quicker than I would have expected, to be honest. I stopped watching mainstream news because I couldn't believe it anymore. And I was looking at it from a different perspective. So I stopped watching it. I don't take my opinions from YouTube. I have my own opinions, and I will express them. And as Spitfire's quite correctly pointed out, you're entitled to your opinion, and you're entitled to express your opinion. I followed up with you're entitled to have your say. Exactly. But the same thing, so is the trolls, or the haters, those who love to try and pull people apart because they're getting more noticed. You know, the network got noticed by people this week. So, you know, I'm on their hit list again. I don't mind. I don't have a problem with that. You know, what are you going to do? At the end of the day, let's face it, there's very few people who know me or know who I am. Very few people. So, yeah, bring it on. Because I ain't frightened of you. Those who are, they're giving in to you. Same reason why I'm not frightened of the government. By the way, good evening, PK. The audits. Thanks for dropping in. We've tried something tonight which doesn't really work the way I wanted it to. So we are going to mend a few things so that we can continue. And a very special Monday night show of the network, because I'm not going to be there. So, you know, I normally am the warm-up act and then everybody else takes over. I always say it goes downhill from here. I'm only joking. Have you fallen asleep to Mellows yet? Because Mellows is a really nice guy. Just keep him off certain subjects, especially Bill Gates. I think Bear's muted himself again, or he's gone very quiet. Well, Grim, that is just shady. Whoa, you mean the fact that very few people know me? Yeah, I'm not a shady guy. I'm an open book. Yeah, my name is Grim Reaper. Yeah. Hello, Gregory. Gregory's a nice guy. Go and check out his channel if you so wish. He has some interesting conversations, and there's some interesting people who pay particular interest to him. I don't know why. He's a very good creator, so by all means, hop across. What link? Just right-click your blue. You don't need a link. The only people who may need a link would be those who are not blue, and there's not many people in tonight who aren't blue. I just want to say that we've had Lord of Audits in tonight. Nice to see Lord of Audits back. Yeah, you won't go to anyone's channel, just right click and then just go to the channel. There is, well, I think somebody opened the fridge, and I think he might be locked in the fridge at the moment, allegedly. Other than that, I don't know what's going on. I'll see if I can find out. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's muted himself again. I can't double check in that top right-hand corner. I have to go back to the page that I'm sharing. I meant shady that you're not going to be there on Monday. Well, that's what happens. But yeah, well, I'm away. I'm on holiday. I'm going to enjoy this wonderful time of year for me. And of course, Halloween itself, All Hallows Eve, and have a bit of fun for a change. So I will be doing a live show when I go and visit some of my family, and I'll stream it live. And so, you know, as I say, I'm an open book. I don't mind sharing.
Hang on, Graham. 2 seconds. I'll be with you, mate. I'm just doing something.
Yeah, carry on. It's all right. No problem. Where are you going? Anywhere excited? Oh, you mean exciting? I'm actually going to where I've gone every year this time of year for the last 9 years. No, this will be the 9th year. Going to be staying in Lancashire, and more popularly known as Blackpool, for a few days. And on the 31st, I'm taking the wife out to meet some of my family. Yeah. It's up to everybody. It's okay, PK. Caring is sharing, etc. No, seriously. I will say that I'm going to see the hallucinations. That depends on the quality. No, seriously. Not particularly, no. I have no intention of doing the touristy thing at all. Trouble is, though, when I come back on the 31st and go back to base, so to speak, I will probably end up seeing them driving through, but that could be in the early hours of the morning. I don't know, you know. But yeah, that'll be an interesting evening. Now, have you got any other questions? Anybody want to know anything? It's sort of like, you know, have a go at the Reaper tonight if you so wish, jokingly. Or alternatively, we can do something totally different. Can't right click on the phone, dude. Oh, right. Okay. Gregory, if you're still here, can you do me a favor? Will you put your link out, please? Or alternatively, could one of the other moderators in here, in other words, one of the blue people, you know, find it and put the link out. In fact, you know, if you really want to put your all your links out, please do so. I don't mind. Neither here nor there to me. The Illuminations is just one big traffic jam right now. Yes, and I think they're extending now after the success last year. I think it was when they extended the lights to last until the 2nd of January. There you go. There's Gregory's link. Gregory, the camera. It has some really good lives on there as well. And people actually talk, and we have people on the panel that talk. There's also that, you know, this risk, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to show this new system off that we've got. Yes, there's a few things we need to work out, like making sure he doesn't have the camera on yet. But yeah, we're going to be sorting that out for next Friday, because that's the next time I will be doing one of these. So yeah. Yeah, I think you probably have. I know I've subbed to everybody who's in the chat, or more or less. Unless
should we not jump over to StreamYard so we could open up a panel?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't feel a bit risky doing it on here. StreamYard's a bit more comfortable. We've got the banner.
We've got you in charge.
Yeah.
Of security, so to speak. All right, yeah, no problem. I'll stop sharing this and then you can come out. It's just me here again. Yeah, we'll sort out the link for the StreamYards, and then if you want to come in, you can do. As Beth said, you know, we've got certain methods to make sure that the right person's coming up. Well, I'm just waiting for Bear to remember where the link is. Then he'll come up. I don't think you have StreamYard. It depends on where you're coming, what you're using. There he is, the man himself.
Well, yeah.
Eyes on the audits being banded around. I thought he was here then for a second. He's not. Well, I've not seen him. Right. So, yeah, are you happy to do that on Monday?
Yeah, man. No worries. No worries at all.
Good. Excellent. Can you, hang on, what's this? Can you, you can to StreamYard from Google.
That video I put up last night as well, that's apparently fucking doing the rounds on Twitter, man.
All right.
It's gone a bit mad on Twitter, apparently.
So, yeah. Well, I believe your channel's gone past the 61,000 mark.
61, something like that.
Or 60. If I might be pushing it a little bit more, maybe it's because I want people to go over, like, share, subscribe, comment on everything and anything. Love it, hate it. You want to start a different conversation?
Is the question.
Yeah, so for those, and if you're using a phone, just click on the link.
Yeah, you can stick your camera on quick, bro. Just because there's been a few P-bombs lately, bro. Yes, bro, I got your sound, mate.
There we go. Security at its finest.
I'll wait till your camera's off, bro.
Yo, yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, good, you?
Blimey, O'Reilly. What's happened with your channel, eh? It's gone taken off, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's going
Blimey, O'Reilly. What happened? What you went for? Last time I looked, you was 28 or something, and now you're in the 60s, isn't you?
I put a couple of shorts of my own out that like hit over 1 million.
Yeah.
Then, I'll be honest, I put just some random short up and that went viral. That's massively helped.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I've just been quite a lot more consistent than what I have been in the past as well, which has helped, man. Do you know what I mean? But that short has massively helped. I'd be a lie if I said it hadn't.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well deserved, eh?
Well, I believe so.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm down your way. Well, not exactly your way, but it's near you. On Monday, I'm going to the Isle of Sheppey.
Oh, really? Right. Do you know what? Isle of Sheppey, right? There's supposed to be a nuclear power station over there. Like, according to some bird I was talking to, she was like adamant. She was going, no, there's a nuclear reactor over there somewhere. You going to Sheppey?
Interesting.
That's random, isn't it? I mean, have you ever been there before?
No, never been, bro. It'll be a first time.
What, you going to the power station?
No. I'm going to a prison there. Do a few other things as well, but yeah.
Yes, the Isle of Sheppey. Has that got a prison on it?
Yeah, Stamford Hill.
Ah, right. Yeah, well, there's quite a few down that way. You got Dartford prison. Then you got thingy, but you got to be careful with prisons. What category is it?
I don't know.
It's some really weird rules, right? Like if it's a category A, yeah, then you can stroll around the car park and stuff like that without much hassle, 2 or 3 of you. But if it's category B and there's a group of you, you can get pulled up on, like they can.
Might be. Do you know what I think that might be? Because, like with category B and category C, yeah, I've seen schemes where, like, when prisoners are near the end of their sentence, they'll go and give them responsibilities. Yeah, so they'll give them jobs outside of the prison walls. So when me and DJ, for instance, went to Featherstone, I remember when DJ's gone up to this like this fence, right, and he's like, "Oh, mate, do you work here?" And this lad's like, "Not exactly, mate." He's like,
yeah,
"Oh, right. So what do you do here?" Like, and the lad's like, and I'm like, DJ, he's a prisoner, I think, mate. Next minute, the lad's like, "Yeah, no." He's like, "Do you live here?" And the lad's like, "Yeah, you could say that." He's like, "Oh, so you're a prisoner." I don't think I should be talking to you. Anyway, the prison governor came down and was trying to explain that basically these guys have been given jobs outside the prison walls because they're ending their sentence and, you know, they've gained the trust and responsibility, whatever else. However, it says in their license that some of these people can't be on social media. So if you go and post something up on social media and they're in it, they're in breach of their license.
Right.
Even though it's you that's putting it up and they would have no say in it. If that was to get found by the prison, they would be in breach of their license.
Well, it's even more than that, isn't it? Because if it's a category C prison, then even filming in the car park, you can get you nicked.
Depends on who owns the land. But you know, a prison officer does have the power to arrest until the police arrive to detain you.
Yeah, a prison officer holds the same powers as a police constable, believe it or not.
Yeah. That's within their grounds. The grounds also includes the car park. But if it's owned by a private company, then technically they can ask you to leave, and that's it.
So, why particularly are you going to that prison? Because there's countless prisons between here and there.
Do you know Kent Audits?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Did you see his video when he got assaulted there? They all roughed him up for him on the floor and that.
Yep.
We're going to go see if they're going to throw us on the floor like that.
Yeah. Okay. Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
It's not far from you, is it? Bit of a miss, maybe, but not as far as.
Yeah, as the crow flies, it ain't far, but I'd have to go over the Dartford Bridge because that's the only way across, isn't it?
But I've never heard that rule about like if it's a category C, you can't even go on the car park, bro.
That's what Marty got done for that, didn't he? And Power to the Proletariat got done because he put his foot inside category B in Wayland.
So you'd have to check out what the rule.
I already have. I've already looked on Street View for this prison, bro, with Mellows, and it's like there's a public cafe on there, for fuck's sake.
I'm trying to think of
I'll go and eat in the cafe first. Then when I've finished eating, I'll go and fucking get my camera out. And then what are they going to say? What the fuck? It's a public cafe there, bro. Just come for some breakfast. Like anything you're going to...
Well, you can walk back with your camera.
Oh, there's also a museum as well. There's also a museum.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is on your way out, if you're going back on yourself, down the road, it'd be interesting to see what they say.
Plus, to be fair, from where Kent Audits was filming, man, from every point he was stood on was public land, man. That was no prison grounds. Man. He was on with houses opposite side of the road to what he was on. Yeah, that is not prison grounds.
No, it's grounds which is owned by the Crown. And they built on it, and it's still technically private.
And fuck off, man. Anyway.
No, I'm saying technically. I'm not saying it is. They can claim that, and they've met it. If the police arrested you after that for aggravated trespass, then it'd be a testing case, because based on that, they'd become. What's the word I'm thinking? case law on it. And can you imagine if you did get arrested for it and you won the case?
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Anyway, bro, listen, they're my first rodeo, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, they're my first rodeo.
No, I know. It won't be your last.
Yeah, and it damn sure won't be my last. EA, what's going on with you, man? You've been putting some videos in out, and you know, sure, I watched one of yours the other day.
I had some sort of ginger baldy geezer like giving it the.
You're another one, man. You're very good at fucking triggering people. You are.
Well, no, they're triggered anyway, aren't they? All I'm doing is filming. If they don't want somebody on the property, put a gate. Because like, it always amazes me how DJ doesn't go onto the site itself and get so much grief.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not saying it's in anything you do. When I say that, like you trigger, I don't mean like you do anything you shouldn't be doing. I just mean like for some reason, I don't know what maybe it's your face or something, bro. But watch your videos, and I think, how do you get them so triggered, man? They literally see you and they're going mad.
It amazes me.
Anybody who walks up to a camera and says, "I don't want to be filmed," is triggered. Not by you, but
listen, I'm going to plug his channel now, yeah? And definitely not so, I can't speak so much for this year, but definitely last year. Go back and look from anything from December of last year to January last year. I'm telling you now, EA Audits was the most assaulted fucking auditor in the country. There was no one getting assaulted, grabbed up fucking more than EA Audits in the whole year. I swear, constant. It was constant last year for you, weren't it?
I awarded myself most battered auditor, like 2022.
Definitely.
It's amazing. Well, talking of which, like the Amazon, which I'm pretty sure that Kent Audits has done already, probably, you'll be going past that because that's right next to the Dartford Bridge. The Dartford Bridge is just a gimme. It's just a hot spot for people thinking that they own the whole area. Do you know what I mean? Especially Amazon. And then the oil companies and all that.
You'll go to places down that way as well, wouldn't you? So
they come out like I don't know, like a cuckoo clock, you know, like very predictable. And they come out and just start. I think it is the environment because you know what? I went to Basildon, place called Burnt Hills Industrial Park yesterday. It's the scummiest, smelliest, dirtiest. It's like recycling plants, water treatments places, all that sort of thing, you know, sewage and that. And I felt so rough today, you know what I mean? And people are living there. There's people alive down there, you know, working and living. Oh, it's disgusting. It really is. But in fairness to it, the staff who came out and talked to me, they're just normal to come out. What are you doing? Don't film us when we're working, sort of thing. You know, normal chat, right? That's fair enough. But when you come out and start calling someone a P word or whatever, I mean, I just don't know where that come from with this latest one. But I quite like ones like that because there's no long tail to it. Do you know what I mean? With I'm just looking to see about this category C thing.
Do you think, that by going and doing, I'm not going to go into all what opinions are on doing them, but do you think by doing like private businesses and stuff like that, do you think they're like that little bit more risky?
And
I'll say that my reason for saying that is because, you know, when you audit a copper and stuff, even if they get triggered, all right, not saying that you ain't going to be brutal, like they're not going to fucking use any force against you, right? But they're not really just going to stand there and like throw a fucking punch at you, are they? Let's be honest. So you're kind of protected in that sense because you know that a cop is in their role, and most of them wouldn't be stupid enough to just do it blatantly in the middle of a street crack. However, when you go to these private businesses, mate, and you get people that either don't understand it, they do understand it, but they don't give a shit. That's just the way they react. And ain't you like more at risk of like having someone like one day come and land one on your chin?
Yes, I am, because like but
Not just you, any of us, me included in that. Do you know what I mean? All of us, do you know?
Yeah, but I think you've got a higher chance, of being attacked. Because like ever since I started doing the private businesses, but I tried to keep to the bigger businesses. But in that sense, the thing that they'd done wrong was not having a sign on their building. That sticks out like that's a flag, isn't it? Because like, why haven't you got a sign on your building? Everyone else has. So I don't understand what triggers them, as you say. It might just be my face, but once
I've been asked this, and I'll be straight, because I got asked this once, and I had to think about this. It's a good point. Now, like, I have known about auditing for a few years, but I've been working since I'd come out of school. So, say when I was like an 18, 19-year-old, for instance, right, when I definitely didn't know nothing about auditing, never even heard of it in the sense of what we do, right?
Mm.
And I was working, I remember at the time, at a place called 3063, it was called, now called Bidvest. Big, massive, I was working in a freezer, just picking and packing, bro, in a warehouse, right?
Mm.
Now, if I'd have been outside on my lunch, we used to go out the front, and there's a few of us who used to go sitting in this shed, fucking skin up, whatever else, bloody around, sit there, right? Now, in that situation, if someone had come down with a camera and now I don't care about them filming the building and that, but all of a sudden they seem like they're kind of maybe focusing on me or something like that, I ain't gonna lie, I would probably have been like, what the fuck are you doing filming me? What are you doing, bro? At least ask the question, like, what are you doing, man? Why are you filming me? I wouldn't now, but I'm being honest, before any of this, I would have. If I was in work and someone was just like randomly fucking filming me, I'd 90% sure I would probably not necessarily have a problem, but I'd definitely be approaching you to be like, well, why are you filming me? So I kind of get it. Like, I don't think it makes people morons, like when they come out, and I'm not saying it gives the right for someone to come out and act a dickhead and all hands on. Definitely doesn't. However, the whole like not understanding the concept of filming in public, and as long as you're in a public place and anything your eyes can see, your eyes can't be trespassed, so to speak. Somebody isn't necessarily going to understand that in that moment. I mean, they might if you afterwards, but in that moment that anybody's kind of like, hang on a minute, I feel like my privacy's being invaded, even though it can't, I guess, in a way be, because you're in a public place. You can't really blame these members of the public for responding sometimes the way they do. Not as far as going hands-on, but responding in the sense of maybe having a problem with being filmed. Because you can't just expect everyone to know that. Like, not everyone's into photography. Not everyone's into running YouTube channels. So a lot of people don't need to find a reason to walk around every day with a camera. Do you know what I mean? So those people, you can't really fault. I don't know. It's just a bit of a. I would have thought that, like I said before, that they're the kind of people that you're trying to educate and get on side, not the ones maybe upset and.
Right. Here we are. Section 40D in brackets 1 in brackets B and in brackets 5 of the Prison Act 1952. My God, that's a mouthful, isn't it? You can be found to be in a, breached that by transmission of an image from or the sound of a prison without authority.
Yeah, inside of a prison.
Well, I don't want to say too much until I'm absolutely sure, but like as far as I know, that was in the car park.
Because again, a lot of things are like a bit grey, aren't they? Like there's some grey areas, certain things. Right? But how I've always kind of seen it, again, as long as it's publicly accessible, as long as it's in public areas. Also, the things I've always said to people, I'm going to go do a prison. I think I said it to PK. One thing I wouldn't do is forget even going in. Like, definitely you wouldn't go into a prison filming, even into like reception areas, a big no-no. But I said I wouldn't even get a shot of you filming directly into the building. If there's a door open and you can see directly into that building, don't film it. Yeah.
Wow.
Because they could claim that you've got some kind of footage from inside that building. Yeah. But as for just the public area, car parks, I to be honest, thought that this was all kind of like, you know, not necessarily okay. These people aren't okay with it, but at most they can maybe trespass you. That's it, man. You can't start, right, we've caught you walking across this car park, you're nicked. Bollocks, man. They'd surely have to ask you to leave and you refuse for it to get to that. There'd have to be an aspect of trespass, I think. Yeah, it's probably easily accessible. Like, seriously, I'm going to take you to Featherstone. There's 3 prisons all right next to each other, and there's 3 or 4 different ways, maybe 3 different ways into there, and they're all like publicly accessible. Some of them are like public walkways. I even asked one of the, there was blatantly, because obviously usually where there's a prison, all the people around that area are prison staff and they all live around the area, yeah? There's one guy with his missus walking the dog, still in his uniform, and I said to him, how do I get into the prison, bro? And I was filming and that, and he was like, you have to go through that public walkway there. So to just believe that you can be nicked simply on the fact that you're on prison grounds filming, I don't believe that to be correct. Now, I'm not a solicitor. You said that you've known people to be done for it, so I haven't been in that situation. So they're probably going to tell me, actually, you're wrong. But that's just how I've always understood it.
Well, I think it's the open prison. That's where the problem starts, which is all the wrong way.
Prison. Well, if it's an open prison, I'm not going near it because it means it's an open jail, and the minute you step on there, you're on prison grounds. Yeah. But as long as there's a perimeter and there's a fence and everything's locked off, mate, as far as I'm concerned, if I can get to those grounds and I can walk around them freely, then I'm doing so. Okay. To the point where me and DJ even went Oakwood. Me and DJ walked. I remember DJ was like, "Should we walk this?" I was like, "Yeah, go on then." And mate, I remember we were walking around it. We weren't even halfway around it, and we were like, "Yeah, we shouldn't have done this, man, because the place is massive." Yeah, but we were like walking the way up against the prison wall, doing the whole fucking thing, man, and no one kind of hassled us at any point.
Hey, have a look in the chat. There's a few interesting comments. PK has pointed out that if it's on Google Earth, then you're covered, or they would sue Google. Good point. Hi, darling. Thanks for dropping in. So my understanding is that if it's a private prison,
never film inside a building, in a prison building. Yeah, never.
No, I never stepped foot. My understanding is that if it belongs to a private company or they are managing it, right, and they ask you to leave, the moment you refuse, at that point, you are committing aggravated trespass. And that way the police are going to come and arrest you. Because they've asked you to leave, you've just said no, and from that moment onwards, you can be arrested, which is where I'm a little bit concerned about the powers that prison officers have.
You know what, though?
All of the crap,
there's 2 ways of looking at this, Grim. Now, either when these prison audits, because I'll be honest, it's very rare that I see prison audits be done, and on the grounds, a security guard use the powers that they have there, and will actually say, "Look, I've got the powers." Never really see it. So that's either one or 2 things. That's either they don't even realise that they've got that power themselves, or actually you'd have to give them some kind of credit and say that they're not actually as quick to jump on that when really they could. Which is it?
Yeah. Well, to say that all they do is formally arresting and detaining you until such time as the police get there. No, you aren't. It's not aggravated until you leave and come back inside. It's on refusal.
Actually, it's not actually on refusal. That's not true either. You could be somewhere, and at the end of the day, it's not criminal to trespass. Remember that it's not criminal.
I'm not saying.
And just simply being asked to leave.
Trespass.
No.
Yeah. Trespass is a civil matter. It only becomes a criminal matter when it's classed as aggravated.
Yeah.
Right? And aggravated could be a refusal to leave. However, it's unusual that would be enough for it to go to court, right? As such, but it would be enough to put an exclusion order on you. But I've just wanted to clarify: it's not when you leave and you come back, as PK puts.
No, it can be actually. Yes, it is.
That's part and parcel of it, but it's from the refusal. If you turn around and say, yes, I'm going, but you just slow at it, then that's
well, all right. Well, again, even if that's the case, as you're claiming it, then again, it comes down to police being uneducated and not even knowing the laws of trespass themselves.
I am not.
Because when I was out with PK, the reason I say that is because when I was out with PK, coppers turn up, yeah, we've already been trespassed. We've already been told, no, you can't be here, right? By the time the copper leaves, we're like, so can we go back on there, yeah? Yeah, man. As long as you don't try getting in the building, as long as you're not, getting in anyone's way and stopping them going about their day as normal, then yeah. So in other words, actually, it's not about on refusal at all. It's about to do whether or not you are, again, causing an aggravation while you're there. Otherwise, the only way they can pursue anything is civilly. If you're there civilly, even if you're trespassing, the only way for them to really do anything, they need you to be in some form of aggravating behavior. And just to saying simply no isn't aggravated, really.
Well, it depends on how you. As I say, I'm just using that as an example, right, of how powers, if you like, can be used against you, right? However, it would be. It's difficult in some areas. I don't think the police know exactly what aggravated means, because they're thinking of things like actual bodily harm and things like that. From that point of view, PK says even a court order for repossession that I lost, the police couldn't remove me. No, they can't. It's even a bailiff can't. Well, only a bailiff can remove you, or a sheriff.
Yeah, so if they can't remove you, then simply on refusal, that isn't enough for it to be aggravated.
No, but I'm just saying the literal sense of it, right, goes down to there. But I don't think there would be. If there's two of you going down, I can't see them coming mob-handed, but what would be interesting to see is if the same wardens come out. But that's Monday night, folks. And BBA is going to be reporting on that day.
Yeah. We're going to be down there during the day, and then on the night, they'll be alive.
Yeah.
Over here on this channel.
Yeah, and I will be part of it. Unfortunately, I'm taking a break after tonight. I'm going to be back next Friday, which is bonfire weekend, I believe. It'll be interesting to see how many people are around. But that'll be the next sort of chit-chatty show, so to speak. EA audits. It's a long time since we spoke, but thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't been. I don't get many notifications, like, people I'm subscribed to.
It's all down to, well, we're just a little small channel compared to others. So
Compared to BBA, yeah,
3 notifications.
Bloody hell, I can't believe it. I'm just watching Kent Audit's this Isla Sheppey thing. Weird, isn't it? He's out on there's houses behind him.
I don't know which one you're referring to, sorry.
The Stamford Hill. Yeah, Kent Audit's.
Yeah, they've got, this is where they're claiming that it's all on private property owned by the Crown. Now, there's 2 ways of looking at this, right? One is the Crown doesn't own it, the people own it. They're just the caretakers. Because the Crown is there to provide, theoretically. And the other way is that it's from a commercial point of view, because they are charging rent, etc. That road could be classed as private, especially as it has gates in the middle to physically close it off and only let authorized vehicles through. That way, it can still be classed as a private road.
It's really weird, isn't it? It's really weird. It's really weird. It's amazing that it's still these people, out there. I mean, they are. It's almost like a bottomless pit, isn't it? Of tyranny.
But the thing is, the funny thing is that where the gate is, right, it's too far down the road. That's the gate. That's the gate that goes to the cafe, the prison, and whatever else is there. There's something else there as well. Museum, which are all open to the public. There may be private businesses renting the land, etc., from the Crown, but they are open to the public, which means that road has to be accessible to the public. And there's nothing which says you can't film.
And that's obviously that's all their focus, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the betting that they don't get tourists or walkers down there?
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's a nice little village. They're not going to know the difference.
No, I mean, how weird? How weird that that one. I wouldn't mind betting though if when they go back that they'll act differently.
We'll wait and see. I'll have to wait until I get back from holiday. With it being Halloween, I tend to take a week off. I need to rest, especially after the 31st, and I'm always tired the following day.
Really?
All that reaping.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, gotcha.
Because it's my wedding anniversaries now, they're in all there.
Oh God, that really is evil spirits, isn't it? Because that's there's like a pagan element to it. Like when you're leaving your hollow your pumpkin out and put it at the back of your garden. Because Halloween doesn't actually exist. Like it's the eve of All Saints Day, isn't it? It's All Hallows Eve.
It's All Hallows Eve, yes, but it's a pagan festival.
Hey,
it's a pagan festival.
Yeah, right. Well, it's been invaded. Yeah, the pagan festival. I would have thought. Oh, I don't know. I'm confused. I mean, do you know? I was watching this thing recently, right? About the possibility that we're not in 2023 at all. We're actually in the 1600s. That sounds like sort of tin hat-ish, doesn't it? Yeah.
No, it just sounds. It sounds to me as though the spread in that room is drunk.
Right.
Or
now, listen to the evidence, right? Pope Gregory IX, or whatever, like round about the year 1000, the Holy Roman Empire were losing like power, right? And they wanted to try and bolster up their power. So the suggestion is that at around about the years of sort of 600 to 1,000, they added on like a few hundred years in order to give themselves more authority, more power. Say, look, we've been here for hundreds of years, doing this for hundreds of years. And the story of King Charlemagne,
Stick your camera on.
etc., etc. They were all just propaganda from the Holy Roman Empire, which means that we're sort of 500 years.
Much.
There's 500 years in the last 200 that didn't actually exist, which means that we're actually in the year of our Lord, 1623.
Well, yeah, I'd take that with a pinch of salt personally. All I can tell you is it doesn't matter what the year is. We're still being beaten down left, right, and centre by our wonderful state.
Okay, like let me put it another way then, because when I heard that story, I used to do a lot of metal detecting. Right, I've got loads and loads of stuff, amazing stuff. I've got a you know, like the Roman statue of the spread eagle, like a little tiny figurine, right? Still got colour on it, right? I don't know what metal I think it's that reinforced lead thing that they used to use. Really, really heavy. I've got countless coins. I actually found one of my coins, like a hammered coin, right, in my pocket the other day. Just didn't even know. I've just forgotten it was there. I've got loads of stuff, right, but I've got nothing in between. Now up to now, it's been that there was sort of prosperity and coins and statues and everything else in Roman time. Then the Roman left. And we fell into a sort of like a Dark Ages sort of element. And there is nothing from those years. In between, sort of like you've got, really and honestly, it goes from sort of like, the year of 400 or 500, right? You'll find stuff up to there, like coins, right? And with a big sort of surge at sort of like between the years 100 and 200 sort of thing, right? Then there's nothing. The next coin section that you find is the hammered coins of the Middle Ages. So it could be said that it's even more. From my own personal research, what I've dug out the ground personally, I would say, there is like 1,000 years missing, or like there's a significant part of the last 2,000 years which don't seem to have existed. I think that might have some weight behind it. There's a motive, there's a possibility. I mean, how would we know? How would we know any different?
Bear, what's your thoughts?
He's hitting the fridge again.
Yeah,
stop saying that. He hates me saying that. No, I mean, all right, look, it can't be proven one way or the other because you'd have to get the protagonists involved and they're long gone, aren't they? But if you look at the history, or our history, we've got from the year sort of 0 to 400 where the Romans were here, right? Then you've got maybe another 300-400 years before you've got 1066. And in between there's nothing. There's nothing to talk of. And you've got this legend of King Charlemagne and all that. But according to this thing that I was watching, it's a possibility. It is a possibility. But aside my own thoughts about it, what have
I missed? What's the possibility?
That we're actually in 1623. I love starting off with that bit because that first bit, mate, is completely no. Of course, we're not.
That we are in 19.
Yeah, basically, like what the suggestion is, right?
We're in 1693.
1620s. Well, I don't know exactly what the years are. Like, notwithstanding the Gregorian calendar, because like the Romans added July and August, like Julius and Augustus, they added those months. So notwithstanding that, like and they wanted Easter to fall in May,
right?
And also the suggestion is that the Holy Roman Empire, right? That's not the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire's long gone by this time, right? But the Holy Roman Empire, the Pope wanted to, they were having a bad time of it, yeah. And for propaganda purposes and to give themselves more authority and power, they added on a few hundred years. It's like, well, it's undefinable, isn't it? But they've added on years. So they've said basically like the year is maybe 450 or something. No, we're going to make it 950. And then we've gone on from there. And then we are actually in 1623 because since the year of our Lord, like it is a possibility. How would we know any different? We wouldn't know, would we? And I've done this metal detecting. I've done it for about 5 years, like going everywhere, all over the place. And I've dug up all sorts of stuff. But yes, there's nothing from that period, from those few hundred years between when the Romans left, 400, well, it's not BC, was it AD, right? To 1066, the finds, there's nothing to talk of, or else the things you do find are unable to be given a year. You can't put a year to them.
Okay,
because
I can see the logic of what you're saying regarding Great Britain, but what about other countries? Because they say they're in the year 2023.
Yeah, well, it was done from Rome by the Pope, so I don't know. It wouldn't the same apply? Wouldn't the same apply?
Oh,
like
that's to me. I think that would be a question that
needs
to be analysed.
Yeah, well, I wonder that would be a way of researching it, is to say what happened in this country between the years 400 and say 800. There's nothing. I've got apps in my collection, and I've got a big collection there, right?
Mm.
There's nothing from that period, from after the Romans left this country, right? Yeah. Up to say the year 1000. There's nothing that I can put to that part, that moment, and it would fit in. It would.
That's the reason why I was saying it's, from what you've collected yourself, there seems to be some sort of discrepancy.
Yes.
So it's the same discrepancy in other countries.
That's a good, yeah. You could sort of like cross-reference.
Then that would support your theory. If there wasn't, then the theory that you're putting forward that is going around is proven to be fake.
Well, it came from the channel, the Y-Files. I don't know if you've heard of this channel.
No,
it's an American channel, but it is really good, I must admit, because he's putting forward all these different theories. The other one is the electric universe, right? Now, if you look at the Grand Canyon, right, from space, when you look at the Grand Canyon from space, you see all the sort of like little sort of grooves and everything else, like the spikes coming off the side of it. And there's also a pattern, an electrical pattern, and it does look like an electrical burn. Like, and there's one on Mars as well, and the theory there is that some sort of interplanetary lightning occurs, has occurred in the past, where these ravines have been formed. I mean, how did the Grand Canyon form? They say it's done through water erosion, but water erosion would be smoother, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be so spiky like that. You wouldn't have thought.
It would depend. If it was the Ice Age, then possibly yes, because it'd be fossilized.
What do you mean?
Well, depends on when the Grand Canyon was formed. If the Grand Canyon was formed during the after the Ice Age, or should say during the Ice Age,
which one?
And then the melting, you would not necessarily get the water flow so smooth, and you would get spikes because they'd be so
Yeah, but
cold, they'd be fossilized and become fossils.
Well, the Grand Canyon was formed. I mean, there's been loads of ice ages, though, haven't there?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is.
I've not watched all the films yet.
Well, the the Sphinx, right? That has it's irrefutable. It's got water erosion on the Sphinx, right? There's no other way of doing it. Wind won't do that, and water. It's water erosion. There's no doubt about it. And there's a lot of the religions and that talk about floods, a global flood that happened. At the beginning of sort of like our known history. You see, I'm right. I should explain, because I've always been of the belief that there's been civilizations way before when you look at our history, our known history, we sort of go back from where we are now, go back through the Victorian ages, the Romans, then you've got sort of like the Assyrians, and then before then it's just basically cavemen, right? But before then, like the theory of Atlantis, I suppose, where there was an advanced civilization. Because you know what, right? If we were to continue that in the pattern that we are now, right? That predictably, say if like there'd been a civilization as advanced as our own, or perhaps even more, there would be nothing left. There's only one thing from the human race, right, from our present human race, right, that would be detectable by a civilization in the future, and that is the nuclear fallout. Yeah. And when they've done the tests on the what's it called, radiation, what's it called, I'm trying to think of the radioactive past,
radioactive materials,
right?
Dust.
Now it is possible for nature to have produced, like when they've done the tests of modern day, they've picked up, oh, hang on, where's this radiation signature come from? This is weird. Now somebody has proved that there are a certain set of events that could happen, but they are incredibly unlikely, right? But they could have happened naturally. But other than that, that has to be produced by the way that we're producing it now. And in a million years, billion years, whatever you want to look at it like, there'll be no trait, there'll be nothing left of us whatsoever except for that signature, that one signature. And you can see it now. That is almost provable. It's almost provable, but there's that one little possibility that it could have been done by natural process. But it's well detectable. It's easily to be detectable.
Do us a favour, you put the channel link that you're referring to either in the private chat or in the main chat, and then everyone can have a look at it, to be honest. And see, people can make their own mind up with the different things. Some of it might be way out there. Some of it may be more believable.
No, the guy, the channel is called the Y-Files, but it's he's more or less, he sits on the fence. I believe that he sits on the fence deliberately, and he's got like a little gimmicky talking fish sort of thing that helps him to say all the things that he's not allowed to say. But the first video that I watched of his was about the simulated universe, and it brings to the fore, right, especially for these religious nuts and everything else, there's much more evidence to the universe being simulated, i.e. an ancient civilization who, like ourselves, began to do simulations of the universe, and then basically it's a supercomputer that, you get these new games, these AI games where you're walking around a city and you're sort of talking and anything can happen. We are actually in such an app, we're in that sort of thing, and there's loads and loads of evidence towards it when you look at some of the anomalies that we see. I mean, like that Fibonacci code thing. Have you heard of that?
No,
or,
not that one. No.
or Zipf's law. Zipf's law, right, is almost unbelievable, right? But they pick like if you pick language, right, you've got like the is the most used word in the English language, right? Then the second word, right, which is used exactly, almost exactly half the amount, is there you go. Thank you, UK lady. The Fibonacci code, right? I'll come to that in a minute. That's almost unbelievable as well. It's evidence for a simulated or at least an intelligent design to everything around us. Everything. I mean, pi as well pops up all the time. So you've got the, then you've got of, which is used half the amount of time as the. If you take all the works of Dickens and Shakespeare and everything else, put them all together, count the amount of thus, there'll be half the amount of ofs, which is the next one. And then you've got the next word, which is, say, and. I'm not sure if this is actually right, but say that is and. That's used a third of the time that the was used. And then it goes on and on. And this was the channel Vsauce, right? He's like a mathematician, right? And he picked the word Vsauce, right? Now, Vsauce doesn't get used very much, does it? Because it's not even a word, right?
Mm.
However, he's got quite a big channel. So out of all the literature that he sort of put together and then sort of compiled this thing, Vsauce came in at 29,643. And guess what? It was used 6,000. It's a percentage, you know, it's 29,643, you know, fraction of the time that the was used. And that applies to English, right? In fact, it applies to every single language that we know of, apart from that one that they haven't decoded yet. But there's every known language that is called Zipf's law, ZIPF, Zipf's law, discovered by a German guy. But then there's the Fibonacci code, right? Now, Fibonacci code is 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 38, so on, right? Now, the link is 1 plus 1 is 2, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got 1, 2, then you've got 2 plus 1 is 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, then you've got 3 plus 2 is 5, then you've got 5 plus 3 is 8, then you've got 8 plus 5 is 13, and so on, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All nature subscribes to that code. For example, if you take a flower, right, any flower, right, and I can tell you now from this, there is no such thing as is it a 4-leaf clover people go after? There's no such thing as a 4-leaf clover, because even, you know, like you get a chrysanthemum and they have loads and loads and loads of petals, don't they? But it'll be a Fibonacci number. Any flower that you look at will have a Fibonacci number. It will have either 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on.
Yeah.
And that's just one example. Like, look, I'm looking at a leaf here, right? A leaf on my house plant, right? How do I do that? Right, look, I'm looking at a leaf on my house plant. Look, it's got five you know,
petals.
Yeah. And that will conform to all of nature. Like, that conforms to all of nature. It's Fibonacci code. It's really weird. It's really
let's just
weird.
put it one. Maybe that's where the idea of getting a 4-leaf clover comes from, because technically you can't get one, but there's always going to be one somewhere. It's, again, that's the law of nature. I just want to say hi to a few people who come in and not spoken to. UK lady, welcome.
UK lady, yeah.
Didn't get notifications. I don't know the reasoning why. And we've also got Wise Angel who's come in as well. Thanks very much. And Brandon Mitchell, hi. I'm up to date, but guess what? So today I've gone over my normal 2 hours Normally I say, Bear, do you want to take over? But I'm not sure whether he wants to or not, or if he's able to, because he's muted again.
Yeah.
Maybe he's looking for toilet roll. I don't know. Well, I won't say he's locked himself in the fridge. Wouldn't be fair on the fridge. You can't come back and say things now. But yes, folks.
Hello, crazy boggy.
I'm actually cream crackered.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, if Bear doesn't go, announce whether he's staying or going, I'm going to end the stream. So I just want to say thank you to EA Audits for coming up, and also Nigel Bolton Jr. earlier on. And of course, Bear, and both of them have given us feedback on the the bomb shelter, as I'm going to call it. And hopefully we'll be able to get those ironed out in time for next week's live, usual time, 8:15 on a Friday. Usually I'm the warm-up act, and then after that it goes downhill. But I don't think that's going to happen tonight, because I've got a feeling that Bear's gone for the night. He'll come back in and realise it's ended.
Yeah.
Which would be quite funny, actually. Fantastic. I just want to say thank you for everyone for a chill chat. One of the nice things about the chat, everyone gets on with each other. No drama. Nobody picks on anybody, which is great.
No,
I think the saying "leave your shit at the door when you come in." I think that in itself, as a policy, seems to work. So I think we'll carry on with this YouTube friendly service. And of course, you got vigilante.media. If you haven't already signed up for it, please do so. There's no commitment. It just gives us an idea of how many people are around. And if you've got any projects or you want any help with anything, just let us know. We'll see what we can sort out. In the meantime, Bear, I hope you have a great trip on Monday. And I know you'll do a good job Monday night, feeding back. EA Audits, if you're near there, maybe you can join them, maybe you can't. But either way, please, all of you stay safe. At the end of the day, we don't want to see people locked up on trumped up charges. I see enough of those over in the States. But in the meantime, thanks everyone for joining us, and I shall see you again soon. In the meantime, please take care and peace to everybody. Any final words before I go, EA?
No, just what you've said is fine. That's stay safe, keep going.
Shutting down, mate.
Well, I was, but I didn't know whether you wanted to stay. That was all. It's entirely up to you.
Bear, how do you find the immigration hotels?
Pardon?
How do you find your immigration hotels?
Just through a lot of viewers and that will send me locations, and
there's a big one.
I do a little bit of research.
To carry on.
I can for a minute, but I'm going to shut it down in a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Finish your conversation off. I just need to say I'm falling asleep here, and I don't like falling asleep on stream. That's why and Anne-Marie, and I'm not going to do that. So I'll.
Yeah, all right, Grim, sound mate. Well, like I say, I'm only going to be 5 minutes, and I'll shut this down.
Yeah, no problem. Cheers. Yeah, I will have a good time away. Thanks very much, and thanks for all your best wishes. In the meantime, guys,
take care, bro.
Bless you. Cheers, Grim. Cheers, Grim.
Peace, man.
Yeah, no, it's only as you're passing, because you'll be coming down. If you're coming down to Sheppey, then you'll be going past like Withersfield. Have you heard of Withersfield?
No.
Now it's an ex American base, right? And they were going to build a super prison there. So there was a load of local protests and everything, right? And I've been down there. TTP's been down there, and maybe someone else. But so they're going to build this 800 acre, 800 acre, which is huge, prison, right? But obviously now it's being used as an immigration station.
Yeah.
And it's this beautiful little place in North Essex. And I was thinking about going down there and finding out what's going on, because like obviously the press are not reporting on it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's called Withersfield. So there's not too many immigration hotels down here.
Yeah, I think I've upset a few of my viewers.
What's that?
Do you know what it is, mate? People seem to get like they've got this perception that because I don't agree with one thing, that it must mean that I don't agree with something else as well, or that I agree with. I don't know. Just a video I put up yesterday, mate, and it's just my, oh, I can't believe you were doing these hotels, and now your opinion, you're for the dinghy divers. Nah, man, that's a racial comment, that is, because that's ridiculous. What a ridiculous comment. My issue with migrant hotels, yeah, is yes, okay, these people are flooding over here, but my issue is with the government, the fact that they allow them in, they're not processing them, all the factors behind it, yeah. For me, I don't care whereabouts in the world that you come from. If you're abusing that system, I'm not for that, yeah? And that's wherever you're from, by the way. I don't care where you're from on this planet. If you're not from this country and you're coming here illegally and fucking fiddling that whole system there, then I'm not for that.
I'll tell you what, refer them to...
It seems to me, and I could be wrong, because I don't want to say this of like viewers and stuff, but it seems to me from some of the negative feedback I got about my last video that a lot of people don't actually care about that, and it's more about who these people are and where they came from.
Yeah, well, yes.
That's how it's coming up. So I'm wondering, by going out and doing these migrant hotels, even though I've only ever gone out and done them in a way where the first 4 or 5 questions I ask any migrant I've ever spoke to, these illegal migrants, right? First 4 or 5 questions I always ask is always about their own well-being, right? So I've never gone there stirring up hate. I've never gone there abusing them and like giving them shit, so to speak. So,
well, I would recommend you say to them, go and see what DJE Media, right? He went down to Southampton, and like the one there was just unbelievable. I mean, talk about violent gangster thugs, like the. I mean, what the hell are we letting people like that come into the country for? He kicks the camera out of his hand, then he steals his camera and runs off down the road, and he jumps over a wall. DJ Mid jumps over the wall.
Well, I'll say it on here. I'd say it on mine, so I'll say it here. I don't like that guy anyway. He's a tosser.
Yeah.
And I've seen his videos recently, and he's somebody that definitely is stirring up hate. Like going and filming a bike shed and claiming they're all stolen bikes when you've got no evidence to that is nothing more than trying to stir up hate. If you're going to turn around and say they're a load of stolen bikes, I want proof to the fact that they're stolen bikes. I don't just want no stupid claim. Yeah? There's a few things I've seen where to me it seems like there's a bit of an agenda there, but that's just my opinion. Why not go there? If you're really interested on doing some reporting, then as I said, go there, speak to them. The only way you're going to speak to these people is to seem like you're interested in their well-being, yeah? So by asking them about their well-being, they might then actually engage with you a little bit better. Then you can start getting on to more pressing questions like where they come from, how they come here, why they come here, yeah? The reasons for leaving where they've come from in the first place. But if you're going there being a prick, man, then you ain't going to get none of that, are you? Well, so, again, whether you agree with a situation or not, treat everyone the same, man. Treat them like a human being. Don't treat them like anything else, even though they're here illegally. Don't treat them any differently. And, like I say, I feel like you'd get more out of it in a video sense wise.
What my findings are, right? From what I've seen, is that the hotel that I went to, right, was cram-packed full of children and women, right? So it's not all young males, like has been said, right? Because that hotel and they are not illegal immigrants. These are legal immigrants, right? Mostly from Afghanistan, right? Now, it's not the immigrants' fault or doing. It's the big the royal family. They know that we're sick to the back teeth of them, so they're having to bring in sort of like recruits from abroad to be able to bolster up, to give them sort of like cheap labour, to give them sort of.
I'm going to ask you some questions I was asked recently, right? As honest as you can answer them. Do you think, regardless of your religious belief, ethnic background, all of those kind of things, do you think that we can live side by side with each other in society?
Well, to an extent, yeah. But 8 million, I've heard this figure, 8 million in the last decade, yeah, right, which is the population of Sweden have come into the country. Other countries,
No,
such as
no.
Canada,
I'm not trying to defend the people coming in, by the way. I'm just asking.
It's not the people, it's the amount. We can't, we haven't got the infrastructure to support 8 million people.
100%, I agree with that. 100%.
You know, you were saying 250,000 people coming in a year. It's not feasible.
24, 25, they reckon about 250,000 people a year.
But I'm not a hypocrite. If I was in their situation and I was in a country that I could do nothing about, you know, like, you know, in some circumstances.
Right, but you're a smart guy, right? When I say smart guy, you're someone that definitely thinks outside the box, and you're thinking, you're quite a deep thinker, right?
Mm.
So you can see things. Now, I do not think that fucking it's all kind of done by fucking design, bro.
Yes, I do. I think that this isn't the immigrants' fault.
And also, would you turn around and say, and again, I'm not sticking up for the Middle East, no terrorists, no other religion from ourselves or anything like religious background than ourselves or anything like that. It's not about sticking up for them. But if you were to sit there and be honest, right, and you start, it's not just so black and white, is it? Like, what as countries like ourselves in the US, you know, you've got to think like, we're not innocent parties, man. Like, in the sense of, how do you end up with refugees in the first place? How do you have asylum seekers?
Right. Now, you can look at Australia.
Through war and things like that, right?
Yeah. And now, Australia have a really
good laws in those countries.
Yeah. Australia have a very draconian law against illegal immigrants, right? They still got their migrant problem, but against illegal immigrants, they will pay the people smugglers to take them off and put them on some remote island in the middle of nowhere, right? And it's very draconian, it's very controversial, it's very harsh, right? But guess how many people died trying to get in on so-called dinghies last year? None. How many died trying to get in just across the English Channel, which is nothing compared to like their sea? Well, thousands of people have.
Right, a lot.
And the blood is on the hands of the criminal politicians, the big corporations, and the royal family as well, because they know we're sick of them, and they know that we've had enough. So they're recruiting people from abroad who are none the wiser. But I can't blame them. That's what I'd do if I was in their situation. I'd try and go to somewhere better as well. But that does still apply to us, doesn't it? If you don't like it, you can leave, can't you?
Yeah, no, of course.
That's the bottom line. That's what I'm considering.
I just think, as I said earlier, I think regardless of whether your ethnic background, religion, anything else, we're all human beings, right?
Yeah.
And we probably share, all of us, more similarities than differences, bro.
Absolutely.
And actually, the one thing that I think this can all be pretty much sure on is the one common enemy that we've all got, or the one person that we should all be looking at, is those elite, mate. It doesn't matter what country you're in, whether it's a third world country or a very well-off country, yeah?
Right.
Dictatorship, bro. It's always the people at the top. You're me and you, really. We're nobody. If something happens to us, we're just collateral damage, right?
Yep. Well, it's important that we know our enemy, right? And when I went to this hotel,
our enemy isn't each other.
Hang on. When I went to this hotel, right, I was speaking to the actual migrants, right? Do you know what? They're really good people. They're nice people, right? Now, there was loads of bikes there. There was loads of shopping trolleys and that as well, right? Which, might just be a misunderstanding of culture, you know, like, or whatever. But what you've got to find interesting is why do the police turn up so quick and aggressively, right? Because they're under directives. Those directives are coming from, as you say, from an elite that wants this cheap workforce, fill out houses that they're building. You know, it's greed, and it's coming from within. It's not coming from.
Yeah, but it's also got to be to do with divide, man. Like, you know, surely you know if you're going to do this and you're going to allow these many people to come in, that it's going to get people's backs up.
Yeah, and they're not bothered.
And I don't think it is all. Like, I think that the racists, I think it gives them a bandwagon to go off this migrant thing, right? But actually, from what I've actually seen, like the broader spectrum is that even people that emigrated here, say back in the 70s, like the Indians and stuff, right? Indian community. I've seen some of those people be interviewed of recent, right? And even they don't agree with what's going on.
Yes.
So they were quite proud migrants that they got taken into a country where blah, 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 and Britain's seen as a country where it takes pride in taking migrants in that come in and contribute towards the economy. However, that's all kind of been like shat all over with this illegal immigration thing.
Yes.
You know, no one's ever turned around and said, because actually this country, I think, relies heavily on migrants for work.
So to answer your question, yes, I do think it's been orchestrated, and I think it's been orchestrated from within, whether or not that the within is a foreign element or not, notwithstanding the fact we've got like an Indian mayor and an Indian prime minister, whether or not that's a part of it is something which is slowly beginning to reveal itself. But taking it out on the immigrants themselves is really you've got the wrong enemy. You've got to know your enemy.
Do I think that some of these people coming into this country are dangerous? Potentially, yes. I can't say. I can say potentially yes.
Well, they're not monitored, are they?
Like you said about, but however, I'll always just treat them as human beings. Listen, if I went to one of these hotels I went to, and there's someone that I've had a conversation with and been nice enough to, and then they're in an article because they've sexually abused or they've raped a girl in a park or something, yeah? And bro, I hate them. I don't like them any more than I like the next person. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's right.
I can't turn around and say, "Oh, you're one of them, so you must be here with." Do you know what I mean?
No, but there's not enough scrutiny.
If you start doing that as well, let's just say that's the way to go. Then you're just going to push hate on a load of people that you're already claiming are here with an agenda. So why are you going to push even more hate on them and make them feel even more? Because surely that's just going to give them more reason to do whatever you think their ulterior motive here is, right?
I know it's a big problem. It's a big problem because there's a lot more people. The rest of the world is a lot more powerful than us. Do you know what I mean? So we are the minority here, and we're referring to these people as minorities when they're not. They're not. We look at it globally. We are the minority.
Shout loud enough, you can't ignore you.
True.
Yep.
Right now, that ceasefire petition has reached enough for Parliament.
I was quite shocked at how many Palestinians are here. Did you see the mass prayer thing they did outside Downing Street?
Hang on, bro. Hang on.
Oh, we've lost Bear. So that just leaves me. You got. He's back now, but not sure what's going on there.
Right, sorry, I was coming in on my phone. What did you say, mate? The protest outside Downing Street?
Yeah, they were doing a mass prayer thing outside Downing Street, Palestinians. I really don't understand what Israel are thinking. You know, by bombing women and children in hospitals and stuff, they're putting the agenda back into the Palestinian side. I've got nothing good to say about Hamas. They're a bunch of
No, 100%. I'll stand with you and say exactly that. I don't stand with like Hamas in any sense at all, right?
No, but I don't stand.
But I don't believe that I don't believe that Hamas is a true reflection of the Palestinian people. I do not believe that.
The Palestinians are as much to victims as the Israelis, if not more. But I don't want to say anything too controversial on this channel because, like,
No. Don't worry. I'm not saying anything I would say on my own. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's. But no, it's. I don't know. People. I've noticed since it's been going on, there's like a very big divide of opinion. Divide of opinion, if you like. And I don't know. I think a lot of people are quite, not that I'm educated on it, but I think there's a lot of uneducated people. And I think a lot of the quick to assume comments come from being a bit uneducated.
look, like Jesus, right? It's supposed to be one of them, yeah, right? Israelis.
Do you know what? Someone turned around and said, someone said to me that, I don't see Israelis in our country bombing people, right? That's a comment that someone left, right? So because it's not necessarily happening in your country, it shouldn't necessarily matter to you. However, I'd say that the Palestinian people have lived in oppression been oppressed for a very long time, man. And that Palestine, or the Gaza, if you like, is kind of just like an open prison. It's meant to be one of like the most densely populated places on the planet. One of the most densely populated places on the planet, man.
Yeah. It's getting it's getting denser, isn't it?
And you not think that Israel have kind of made their point? Like, don't you think that there's retaliation and then there's like full on outlaw?
Yeah, but retaliation isn't that's not the way. Retaliation in anger is not a good thing, is it? It's not. A wise man would not say do that. A wise man would say, like, look at what Jesus said. He used to say that if your enemy slaps your face, you should turn the other cheek. Where's that's gone all up the wall then, isn't it? Just as well he's not here to look at it, isn't it?
Well, I think one thing's right. If you listen, right, if we haven't got humanity, man, within us all, then what have we got? If you take humanity away, man, in the world, then what's really left? You know? And you can't tell me that what's going on at the moment's humane, man. Not in any way, shape, or form.
I cannot, and I will not, even if I could. It's appalling. Bombing women and children, and all these Hamas blokes are underneath in tunnels. I'm being told. You know what I mean? So they're not even
tunnels under Gaza.
It's bloody ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I don't want to say too much because it's this channel. So I'm going to jump off because I've got things I've got to do.
No, yeah, I was going to go anyway and shut it down. But
cheers, man.
Yeah, Monday, mate. If it's free Monday.
Yeah, I've got your number, haven't I?
I don't know, but you definitely got me on Facebook. So if you message me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what time are you planning? Well, I suppose you can't really say too much online, can you?
I'm not going to say too much, but obviously I'm going to be there early doors kind of thing to make the day of it. Do you know what I mean?
Christ, you'll have to leave early, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I am leaving early. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll try and send you a message then on Facebook, and
sounds shorty, man.
Sound shorty.
Yeah, big up, bro. Hey, shorty, I think I might just fire up a little music live or something on the second channel, bro. That's what I'm thinking about doing. That's what I'm thinking about doing, man. Shorty go live. Yeah, Shorty go live. Shorty go live, man. Live and direct. Who we got in? Wise Angel. Good to see you as well. Thanks for coming in, girl. I'm Marie. Shorty. Let's get a music live. What kind of music we thinking tonight, guys? Because I'm not going to lie. I don't have no fucking playlists or anything. I just kind of go with a track that I like. And then just what comes up after that, recommended wise. I look through the list and be like, yeah, that one's all right. That one's all right. And then I end up playing a load of shit. And we go off for a little while until I get back to, actually, some banging tunes again. But yeah, I'll set one up if no one else is going to. Who else we got? Cheeky Sprite, Israel, have them by the bollocks. Cheeky, you know what? I don't want to say too much on here myself. Like, I think we can talk about what I did talk about. I didn't say anything that's like untowards, but I definitely ain't saying anything. I'm definitely, what I'm not going to do on here is in any way, shape, or form, and not because I'm sticking up for them either, but I'm not going to sit and criticize Israel, because the minute you do that, you're anti Semitic. So, or that's how it seems. One's allowed to be criticized more than the other, and I'll leave it there. But yeah, I set one up, man. Party time. Naked DJ standard. We'll find some naked DJs, man, or half naked anyway. Can't have like full on explicit titties bouncing everywhere, bro. All over the gaff and that, in the face and all that crap, man. We can't be doing that, bro. But give me a minute and I'll set one up. Give me a minute. I'll come out of here, jump back on the computer. And we will get one on the go. At least for an hour or something. I got some shit I need to do anyway, so I can fucking do that while I'm playing some tunes in the background, man. Let's go. Cool. Just gonna grab a brew and some tissues. UK lady, wise angel, Anne Marie, shorty, cheeky spike, the crazy boggy. Who else we got in here? I know there's been more of you, man. Spitfire, I know you've been in. Indiana Auditor's been in. Brandon Mitchell's been in. Darlene's been in. Big up yourself, Darlene. But yeah, big up yourselves, man, anyway. And hopefully see you over on the other channel in a minute. We're gonna get some tunes on the go. Boom, 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 boom.